In today's video, I'm going to be unlocking Cuphead's 14 DLC trophies to 100% the game. I've already unlocked 3 of these trophies while platinuming the base game, which you can also check out on my channel. Step 1 was to go around Inkwell Isle 4, defeating all the new bosses so we could get the ingredients for the Wonder Tart that Salt Baker would help us make. This is so we could bring Miss Chalice back to life permanently. But now, not only do we have to defeat new bosses, but the King's champions as well. In true Cuphead fashion, the new bosses are difficult and tricky. Oh! Oh! Lies! It's all lies! Yeah! I was like, this looks a little different. Is this new? But the King's champions are these new fights where you can't use anything but parrying to defeat your enemies.
I'm supposed to smack the top of his head at like the right time. Okay, those 2 right there, that's nice.
Each one has its own gimmick and they were pretty fun until we had to do the King's Gauntlet, which we will talk about later in the video along with the specifics of these fights. But Miss Chalice is so helpful to use during these because her dash is also a parry, making it way easier than using Cuphead or Mugman.
No, I meant to hit the... Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh! Oh! Trophy!
I was working on the King's champions and the bosses at the same time, so around here I was only one boss away from getting another trophy. But here's how the other bosses went. Oh! No, the chicken wing! I was so close! Oh shit! What is happening? What is happening?
No! The stupid popsicle sticks, the ice cream cones.
Oh my! What? What? Now that we are all caught up to our last boss, I can let you know that plane levels are the worst thing to happen to this game. Keep your meat to yourself, okay? Nobody wants to see that.
No! Goddamn sausages! I hate sausages!
Yes!
I knew I had it. I just had to not panic. My contacts started getting blurry. I was like, no!
Now that we had gathered all of the ingredients, it was time to head back to Salt Baker so they can make us the Wonder Tart. Or so I thought.
What's up, homie? Wait, what? I mean, I think he just looks really excited to chef up that tart for us.
This boss fight took me like 4 hours of attempts to beat him. No, I don't really want to talk about it, but I did get an A+ on him on my final attempt, which is great because that means I never have to see him again.
Yes! And I got an A- on him too. Perfect.
So there's actually a secret boss on Isle 4. If you go talk to these guys on the podium, they will tell you which gravestones to click on in which order to unlock the secret level. And then you'll take a little nap and be teleported there. It has this really cool mechanic where whoever you turn your back towards turns into the angel and does no damage to you. Defeating the boss will turn the broken relic into the cursed relic, which we actually need for the paladin trophy.
Yeah! Survive the nightmare! Let's go! Secret boss done!
In order to get our next trophy, we would have to equip the new charm, the Cursed Relic. With it equipped, we needed to defeat 7 different bosses, and doing that would turn it into the Divine Relic, giving us the achievement. But the problem is, with this equipped, you'd only have 1 HP, and every time you press the fire button again, your weapon would change into something completely random.
This is so not good for this situation.
This would make fights that were normally super easy way more difficult.
Yes!
While we were here, I decided to clean up some of the simpler trophies.
Can I? Nice! The golden touch. I was like, can I hit her with this? Can I hit the flower with this? I'm making light work of it. Oh! And we just defeated 10 bosses. We got a double dipper.
Next, we had to defeat a boss on Isle 4 without killing any of its minions. Sadly, the best level to do this on was the plane level I hated so much since the boss only has 1 minion and it's this little flying horse bee thing. Luckily though, you can put the level on simple to do this achievement, completely getting to skip the final phase.
Okay, nice! Yes, it works on simple. All right, easy. Another trophy. Awesome.
Next, we had to get an A rank on every single boss on Isle 4. In order to get an A rank, you have to do 3 of these 4 things perfectly. Defeat a boss in under 2 minutes, have 3 HP by the end of the fight, parry 3 times, and use 6 of your super cards. Honestly, this didn't take me too long since I had already defeated the bosses once and I knew what to expect. I was just betting on doing everything else perfectly except for having 3 HP by the end of the fight. The hardest one for me to do was definitely Mortimer Freeze because there's just so much free damage to take in the second and third phase, plus things are so hard to parry in that boss.
Oh, yes! We got the A- trophy. We are making progress, baby. She's unstoppable, baby.
Now, these last 2 trophies were the ones that took me the most substantial amount of time. We finally come to the King's Gauntlet, where basically what we had to do was defeat all 5 King's champions in a row without dying. After every champion, you would get HP back, but if you died, you had to start all over again. The first champion, the pawns, were super easy. All I had to do was dodge them and dash into their heads. The second champion, the knight, was tricky at first, but after doing it tens of times, he became a breeze. He has 3 different attacks, and you just have to wait until he gets tired or find an opening to parry his head. The third champion, the bishop, was my run killer. Over and over again, you had to parry his head, and then he would light some candles, you would run over them to put him out, and then parry his head again. But the problem is these bells he spits out of his mouth. I'm so focused on trying not to get hit by his spinning head and get these candles snuffed, and then these heat-seeking bells are coming for me, or he just happens to spit it out right in front of my face while I'm dashing. Anyways, this champion was always my make or break. It didn't matter how much I did it, I just always ran into the same bullshit. The fourth champion, the rook, was the coolest design in my opinion. I had to parry these chopped off heads back into him to damage him, all while avoiding the skulls and the sparks that were on the floor. It took a while to figure out how to juggle all of the things, but eventually I got into a rhythm. And finally, the fifth champion, the queen. You had to parry these cannons. They were constantly rotating to shoot her, but I could just never get the right angle in certain circumstances to do damage to her, and dodging the jewelry she would rain down was so hard because sometimes they would bundle up together and there was just no escape. But eventually, out of one too many tries... Yes! Did I just... Is it done? Do I get the trophy? Is it over?
I have never witnessed such unmatched strength and endurance I bestow onto thee the greatest gift of a king's admiration.
Yes! Our final trophy was to get an S rank on just one of the bosses in Isle 4, which means the goals that I had to normally do to get an A rank, I had to perfect all 4, and I had to beat the boss on Expert. I decided to do the dogfight boss because it was just one of the levels that didn't change too much in Expert mode, but the problem is I would keep taking damage when the screen would turn sideways, and I had to have 3 HP by the end of the level or else there would be no S rank for me. But then I found out that Miss Chalice has a super art that is like a protective shield for one hit, which was my saving grace, a gift from the Cuphead gods. So I used it when we got into the last phase, and finally... Yes! 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 If you want to see more trophy hunting and challenge content, don't forget to subscribe and follow my Twitch if you want to see me trophy hunt live.